course, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. In the next hour, we'll try to hash out what's going on. You can figure it out. More power to you, because I can't. It's a war, it's not a war, we're in a war, we're not in a war. There's a ceasefire, there's not a ceasefire, there's no boots on the ground, only we're sending thousands of troops there right this second. So if you can tell me what is happening, that would be nice. Here, this is from Friday's, hey, what's up, Julia? This is from Friday's press conference. If you can make sense of this. 12:03 p.m. President Trump told reporters he wanted a ceasefire with Iran. 12:05, he declared victory. 12:07, he announced he was sending Marines. At 12:08, he said no boots on the ground. At 12:11, he said he did not want a ceasefire. At 12:16, he declared victory again. At 12:17, he asked for a ceasefire that he just said he didn't want. At 12:23, he told NATO they were cowards. At 12:29, he said Iran was begging for a ceasefire. At 12:31, he said everything was perfect. At 12:36, he said $500 oil was a good thing. At 12:37, he demanded Iran open Hormuz. At 12:39, he said Hormuz was never closed. At 12:41, he said the U.S. was not at war with Iran. At 12:42, he declared victory in Iran. Now, if you can tell me what is going on from that, it's like you should get a fucking prize. It'd be like $1 million reward if you can decipher this fucking ridiculous bullshit. What's up, you girl, Abby? Thanks for tuning in. Catchy Electro Music says Trump knows what he's doing. Well, please explain to me, Catchy Electro Music, what he's doing then. He knows. If he knows what he's doing, then what is he doing? I'm waiting. What's up, Ava, Ken? Thank you guys for tuning in. Seriously, I'm waiting. Because just saying that Trump knows what he's doing, anyone can say that. He'll say that, of course. But I just read you his press conference. He said 20 different opposing things in the same brief. We're at war, we're not at war. There's a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. There's a ceasefire. Catchy Electric Music trying to settle the market. What the fuck does that mean? The market. We're talking about a war here. Now the markets are important, right? Because everybody's got to pay this fucking ridiculous prices. But solving the actual problem, which is the war, is what we should be talking about. Art of the deal. What kind of fucking deal is this? And why would you make a deal with Donald Trump, who lies constantly, whose word is not worth shit? I don't think that you all have thought this through. At all. Because this is a clusterfuck of epic proportion. Strait of Hormuz is still closed. You know this, right? And he just lifted the sanctions on Iran, which gave them billions of dollars, way more than Obama gave them during that first deal. And now you're talking about the proposals that they have on the table are basically the same deal that they had before all this happened. So, to recap, what's up, Laura? To recap, we bombed the country, killed a bunch of people, spent hundreds of billions of dollars. They're about to go ask for $200 billion for this war that's not a war. It should be over in a week. He said it's now been, 3 weeks? I don't even remember when it started. Have faith in what? Catchy Electro Music, seriously. If you can tell me what it's just like your place, Israel. What are they doing? Now they're talking about they're going to annex the southern part of Lebanon. Which this was never about anything, was it, except expanding Israel. Taking the Gaza Strip and the Palestinians. Now they're moving into the West Bank. Now they're going to steal fucking the south part of Lebanon. I don't know if you know much about World War II. But that was Hitler's policy, you know this. The living space thing. They need more living space for their people, which is what the Zionists want, right? More living space for Jewish people, which is, I'm not saying that the Jewish people shouldn't have a place to live, but they also shouldn't be stealing land from other sovereign countries. Don't you think? And you wonder why, I mean, like I said, they'd say, but all this anti-Semitism is a growing problem. Well, you're not helping the cause with, with your, with the fascist government. I am not. Blue Apollo, not a Jew. Catchy Electric Music says, yes, what? Yes, what? They should be stealing land? Is that what you're saying? See, this is the problem. It's not cool for them to do that, just like it isn't cool for anybody else to do it. When Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, whole world fucking ganged up on you and took back Kuwait. Now you're saying that we should just let Israel steal the southern Lebanon? Blue Apollo says, what do you think about the Groypers? I'm a Groyper. To tell you the truth, man, I don't know much about them. Except that y'all like Nick Fuentes, which I don't understand that. And y'all don't like women for some reason. I don't know why that is. Let me ask you this, Blue Apollo, the Groyper, have you ever been laid? You can be honest. Ken says he's trying to expand his brand and it's shitty. Yes. Arthur says, bring down the military-industrial complex. I agree. Eisenhower gave a speech when he left office. Yes, catchy electric music. It has been like that for years. But that doesn't make it right. You know, all these problems could have been solved if you just had to give the Palestinians a little piece of land for that themselves, and then call themselves their own little country. And problem solved. Yes, catchy electro music. This has been going on. This is like I read, or they said last week. This is the 7th military incursion into Lebanon since 2016. So yes, it's been going on for a while. But like I said, you don't. What Netanyahu has done is made it less safe for you. Don't you understand that? And made more people hate Israel. It's the opposite of what should be happening. You know, like Israel has a right to exist, just like anyone else. And the Jewish people have been through hell, and I can see why. They got their backs up and they want to protect themselves. I get that. Blue Apollo, I'm mostly a left-leaning person, but I'm also reasonable. I'm not a fanatic in any way. You know what I mean? That's the problem, is everyone now is a fanatic on one side or the other. I try to look at situations and try to see all sides of it. Like I said, I see why the Israelis are the way they are. You know, someone tried to kill them. All of them. So they're a little riled up. But they got what they wanted. Right? They got their own country. And in the course of that, a whole nother people got displaced from a country that was once theirs. Now, all they wanted was a little piece of something that they could call their own. And this problem would have been solved a long fucking time ago. But we can't do that, can we? We don't solve problems anymore, do we? All we do is culture war and bicker and fight about dumb shit. Every witch doctor says you just got to reverse Prince Albert piercing yesterday. What's the reverse? Right? The Prince Albert goes to your dick, right? What's the reverse of that? You tell me. Hey, Terry, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Now, like I said, this is the real problem in the world right now. Blue Collar says, yes, he's super right wing, but more so than that. I'm America first. I don't think it's invading the Middle East is good for us at all because they want global hegemony. Yeah, but you could say that about certain Jewish people too. Plenty of Zionists in Israel that just want to wipe the Palestinians off the fucking earth. You know, and if you tell me that that's not true, I'll call you a liar because I've seen the people. Have you seen what they're doing in the West Bank? That's what I'm saying is you've built up so much hatred between these groups of people that it's hard to break through that. You know, how many people got to die before you realize that you're going to have to come to some kind of fucking solution to this problem? Blue Apollo says, once Iran is gone, nothing will stand in the way of Israel and become a global superpower. Yeah, but you're right wing, aren't you? I thought that you were with the Netanyahus of the world. See, this is where I get confused. See, because part of the right is for Israel, like hardcore, like Mark Levin and those guys. They're just as bad as the Zionists I talked to before. If it's up to them, they just bomb all the Arabs off the face of the earth. Because that's how they sound like when they talk. You know, but now you're a right-wing person that says you see that Iran is a roadblock to Israel becoming a global superpower. Now, I don't know, like I said, the truth is Israel could never be a global superpower on its own because it's not big enough. And without the support of America, you know how much money America sends to Israel? I mean, it's a fully subsidized country. Now, should that be happening? That's a whole nother fucking discussion. Sean says, do I believe in Father Christmas and dinosaurs, though? I believe in dinosaurs. Father Christmas I ain't so sure about. Blue Apollo says his internet cut out. What did I have to say in summary? Or maybe they blocked me. I asked you a question. I want you to answer it for me. It interests me, people like you, because most people on the right, a lot of them are for Israel. And obviously you are not. So please. Yes, but catchy, but that's not, see, you become dependent. You think you can fund this war machine by yourselves? The country's not big enough. You don't make enough shit. You don't have a big enough economy. If we didn't give you all these weapons, you that's what I'm saying. Yes, please answer, Blue Pie. I am curious. Like I told you, I'm not a fanatic. I'd like to talk to you. I don't know much about the Gorpers. I said I'd like to learn. I don't know any personally, right? You know, obviously. But yeah, like I said, if you listen to the Mark Levins and the people on the right, they're all for Israel. And if it was up to them, like I said, they'd bomb the shit out of everybody and let Israel take over the whole Middle East. Catchy Dr. Min says Israel fought up. Yes, they did. But then they realized they needed us. Are you sitting here, Catchy Electric Music, and telling me that we don't send trillions of dollars to Israel? And again, I'm not anti-Israel. I'm not anti. But see, we had this discussion already. Catchy Electro Music, peace through strength. You ain't got no peace. When has Israel had any peace? You just said they had to fight 5 armies as soon as they made the country, and they've been fighting ever since. And yes, you're strong, but has that stopped it? No. Killing people is not the answer. Johnny Appleseed says all humans poop. Yes, exactly. Exactly. We're all the same, bro. Thank you. Johnny Appleseed gets it. Please answer the question, Blue Paulo. I'm curious. I want to know your answer. As I said, a lot of people on the right are against Israel. A lot of people, are for Israel. And then there's people like Tucker now who start to ask questions. Yes. Well, you know what happened then, didn't you? Yeah, she made peace with Egypt, Jordan, etc. And then Anwar Sadat was shot, killed, assassinated. Why? Because he signed peace accord with Israel. Again, what do you mean what's going on here? We're just having a discussion, Ali Allah. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce some of these names right. Some of y'all got weird spelled usernames. But like I said, catchy, but did that make peace? No. And you just had to turn and fight someone else. Then you fight someone else. Then you fight someone else. It's like, and now Netanyahu and these guys seem to think, well, we'll just kill everybody. Well, that's killing everybody is not the answer. Blue Polar says, brotherhood that transcended states. They could be a Russian Jew, American Jew, Israeli Jew, but they all want Israel to be better over their country, whether they like it or not. Maybe. See, I'm not Jewish. Being Jewish has got to be weird. As I said, you are stuck, caught between a lot of things and a lot of stereotypes and a lot of prejudice and a lot of Slump says, big agree, host. Ali Ellie says, what's my opinion about the war? I think the U.S. says, yes, it's a mistake. Slump says, yes. Slump says, I don't think God gave them the power to genocide people. Exactly. Killing people is not the answer. And you're never going to kill all of them. And even if you did, all you're going to do is make enemies of everyone else. And that's what I was saying is, a lot of American Jews are against Israel now. That's how they hide too. Is like if you criticize Netanyahu and the government of Israel, they say you're an anti-Semite, and that's not true at all. That's just a screen that they can hide behind to do their horrible fucking shit they're doing. Yes, catchy electro music. And what were you doing in Gaza? What would you call that? Blue Power says they are biased and pick their own side, which I think is a good thing. I agree with them on that, but we can't pick our own side, which is for America. Blue Power says all the right-wing Jews could say they are American first, but at the end of the day, if they had to choose, they would choose Israel over America. That's where my bias comes from. Maybe. Jim. Here comes Jim, who's never going to say a fucking thing. That's worthy of fucking... I'm not even reading your comments unless you say something worthy of fucking reading. And look, catchy legend music says it's not genocide. Well, what if I told you this? There was a genocide against Jews, wasn't there? And yet, you're still here, aren't you? Just because you didn't kill them all off doesn't mean it's not a genocide. And what are you going to talk about these numbers of people that they killed in Gaza and tell me it's not a genocide? Slump says it really sucks coming from the guy that promised no new wars. Yeah, exactly. But if you believed anything that he promised you, you're, and I'm not calling you this personally, but you're an idiot. If you thought that you could trust Donald Trump, that's the problem we're in right now. Just the same as the tariffs and the trade. Why would you make a deal with Donald Trump when you know he could burn? Yes, catchy, and this is the problem. See, catchy electric music is starting to get it. It says, she's Jewish. Jews will choose Judaism first. Then Muslims are Muslims first. Jews are Jewish first. Yes, but that's the fucking problem. They're Christians. And most of them are in your pocket too, because they believe the Bible and they believe, and they believe that if they just tear down that mosque and build that temple mount, Jesus will come back. This is what they believe. Blue Power says, yes, Trump ran on mass deportation. No new wars and stopping fraud. My governor, Tim Walz, isn't in jail yet. There's no mass deportations. This whole administration is all fraud for Wall Street. Yes. Slump says, my dad served in Iraq and Afghanistan. People need to realize our own people will be harmed in this pointless conflict. Yes, they will. They already have. 13 people have already died. Hundreds wounded. Catchy Electric Music says, most Europeans don't identify as Christian. Well, I don't know about the Europeans, but here in America, a lot of Christians. This is what's propping you up right now? Evangelical Christians? Blue Apollo says the Jews are exceptional people and that's to our detriment. Why is that? Everyone can be exceptional. Let me let you in on a little secret. Every race, every group. Thank you, Slump. Please subscribe to the show if you have not already. She says America is different. Yes. Because Europe is a bunch of countries with different cultures and different languages and different everything. And tribalism in Europe has torn Europe apart several times and led to both world wars. Slump says, what do you mean by different? Yes, catchy electric music. What do you mean by different? She means different than Europe. It's more Christian. In a religious way. Danny DeBoy says, good afternoon from Little St. James, Virgin Islands. Good afternoon, Danny. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, it's... And all of this was unnecessary. Like I said, if you see the proposals that they're talking about now, right, they're not any different than the proposals that they were talking about before they fucking bombed all this shit. Or in the Iran deal. The only reason that Trump tore up the original Iran nuclear deal is because it was made by Barack Obama. And that's it. Trump is a petty fucking child who will burn the world down to get rid of Obama's name and put his name on it. That's what this is all about. The problem is, Blue Apollo says at the end of the day, Christianity is a Western value. Western countries are, in my opinion, the safest and the cleanest. Really? You've been to Japan? I ain't been to China, so I can't say. Like Japan adopting Western tradition, we made them. No, you did not make them. Japan has been in society for 1,000 years. You're telling me we made them. Slump says, I mean, it wasn't always that way for Christian nations. Yeah. Slump says, Japan's suicide rate is crazy. Yeah, but that's part of their culture. You don't know that? That's a crazy part of the Japanese culture. the honor thing, and that they kill themselves rather than to be shamed, or or if they were, let's say they were fighting and they knew they were going to lose the battle, they just kill themselves, so you can't kill them. Blue Apollo says, no, we made them cute and stuff. Yes, the history of Japan is brutal and bloody. I've been studying it for a while now. It's very interesting. But, like I said, they were way ahead of us. Technologically and shit. China's been society for thousands and thousands of years. You're talking about the West made them. You know that this country is only 250 years old. It's about to turn 250 years old. That's a drop in the bucket to these, yes, catchy electric music, samurai culture. Exactly. Do you know that we had a civil war in this country? It lasted about 4 years, right? They had a civil war in their country, in Japan, for 200 years. No shit. Kids were born, raised up in war, and fought in war, and died in war for 200 years. Until Oda Nobunaga came along and had this vision to unite the country by force if he had to. And he got assassinated halfway through. Then Hideyoshi took over, and he finished the job. But then, after he united the country, there was nothing for them to do, because all he had was a bunch of guys with armies that only knew how to fight. So then he was like, well, we'll conquer China. Yes, it's crazy, Slump. And that's exactly what happened. What they were like, to get to China, we got to get to Korea. And they asked Korea, can we march through your country to get to China? And they were like, hell no. And then he was like, well, fuck you, then we'll fight you. And then they went and fought them, which they lost. Yes, Slum, for sure. Well, yeah, that was the end of the Tokugawa shogunate in the 1800s. You know that the Tokugawa shogunate lasted for 200 years. Long time. That's why the guy is a legend. He created a system that, even though it was brutal, of course I have Blue Apollo. Who hasn't watched Apocalypse Now? But yes, that thing in the end, the Brando speech is true. It's 100% true. Once you're going down this road, there are no rules. And you see, Trump was threatening to bomb their fucking power plants and shit. When he's gonna start? No one's even talking about what he's done to Cuba. People died, and all the people that were on life support machines and ventilators died in the hospitals in Cuba because Trump embargoed them all the way to blackout, nationwide blackout. There is no power. There is no refrigeration. There's nothing. This has been going on now for a couple weeks. No one's talking about that because everybody's talking about Iran. But this is happening right now. Julia says she had an interruption, missed some things, but scanning the comments, I see there's a discussion about Jews. I'm a Jew, but I'm American first. My loyalty lies with America. See? Fuck Israel. See, Julia and Catchy would have a good debate. Bob says aliens gave my wife big tits. Well, that's good, but better than getting probed. Yes, Slump says everyone's catching strays from our federal branch right now. Yes. Yes. You believe him, Catchy Electro Music? You believe him? She says there's a deal on the table. He said that fucking last week. You can show me this deal on the table. And like I said, all the things they've been saying about the deal on the table, it's just the deal they already had. All this was for nothing. They really thought, even the guy that used to be the head of the Iran division of Israeli intelligence was on TV yesterday. And even he said they fundamentally didn't understand the Iranian people. That Netanyahu and Trump really thought that they could drop some bombs on them and they were just going to the regime would just collapse. They have no idea. Bob says the aliens saved his marriage by giving his wife big tits. Your marriage wasn't very strong, man, if you were just going to leave her the size of her chest. What am I looking for? Oh, she said that there was illegal aliens. Call ICE. So yeah, but these illegal aliens, they gave my wife these big tits. Well, like alien plastic surgeons travel around the universe. Blue Apollo says there's a deal on the table, just like how Iran's been close to a bomb for 40 years now. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, Trump said that there was a deal, and then here's the Iran embassy, swear to God. They tweeted this out. It looks like a signal chat. It says, President of Peace, you. Message yourself. It says, messages to yourself are end-to-end encrypted. No one else, not even WhatsApp, could read or listen to or share them. It says, hey, Ayatollah, let's talk about the Strait for sure. Oh, that's good to hear. I will cease attacks for 5 days. Thank you for your attention to this matter. They're trolling him. The Iranians they got some guy like the Gavin Newsom thing where they're just making fun of Trump now. User unknown says, whose man said, you mean Netanyahu? So Netanyahu and Trump deserve to share a jail cell together. Yes. Yes. Both of them driven by trying to stay out of prison. You know this. That's the one thing they have in common. As soon as Netanyahu's not in power anymore, he's got to go to court and face these charges of corruption and all this other shit. And rather than do that, he's going to raise this holy war. And people like catchy electro music are going to go along with it because they think that this holy war is righteous for some reason. But really, they don't realize they're just getting took by a con man criminal, just like Trump, who's only doing this to save his own ass. And to get his family rich and rich, more rich, you know. There's all kinds of corruption going on right now. She's gone, Jason. She retired. Nancy Pelosi is gone. And people who still bring up those people is like, dude, this is the past. See, this is the problem. In America, we're going through this generational change in politics. All these politicians that have been there for years and years and years, they're all dying off, retiring, getting older. The whole system is changing because of it. And the conservatives and Republicans, they can't stand this. So what are they doing now? They're trying to fuck up the vote. They're trying to stir, make people not trust the elections and try to make it harder for people to vote. Slump says he has to go clock in, but have a great stream. Definitely subscribe. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I'm here. Listen, hey, before you go, I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. That's for anybody watching who doesn't watch. I'm here 3 times a week, and except for this Saturday, I won't be there because I'm going out to, or I won't be here because I'm going to do stand-up in West Virginia. Blue Paulo says, I recommend, if you have time to watch one of Nick's streams, he has been vindicated on all his views. He posted not all of his views, bro. Now, some of these people I agree with, like Tucker Carlson, all of a sudden is making sense. All kinds of sense. I hardly ever agree with Tucker Carlson, but here in this situation, we find ourselves in agreement, and I probably would agree with Nick Fuentes on that particular piece. Thanks, man. Thank you, Slump. Have a good day at work. I know that sucks. Like, I work in the morning, so I've already put my time in today. Listen, he can be correct on that, but he's incorrect on so many other things. He hates women. Like, why? Because he's never got laid. How could you be that popular? How could you have millions of followers on YouTube? You know he makes millions of dollars from his show because he's got millions of viewers. So he's rich. He's famous. He can't get laid? Come on, man. That right there is a fundamental defect in a man, if you ask me. Especially since, why is he popular, right? Because his personality, right? So no, I don't, Diggy, I don't like Trump. You missed the first part of the show, obviously, where we were talking about Trump doesn't know shit about anything. Are they, though? You believe that? The Iranian regime may be the enemy. But how are you going to get rid of it? Abdullah says it's nice that we're all on the same page and being able to agree with all that. Yeah. And I can have, like I said, discussions with people I don't agree with. That's just the problem in the world today. Is you go, oh, this person doesn't, Trump talks too fucking much. And it's, if you take action, it's just like saying Trump went into some place and he broke a bunch of shit. And you go, well, he took action. Yeah, but what was he trying to do? He doesn't know what he's doing. That's the problem. Action without a strategic thought behind it, or a plan, or an idea of what you're trying to do. Yes, Biggie, he's out of control. Blue Apollo says he doesn't hate women. That's just a joke. He's really? I don't believe that. He's a Catholic and he's had people attempt to kill him at his doorstep. He said he can't have a wife and kids with where he's at in his life. Really? Well, he should probably get laid first. Blue Apollo says, have a great show. We're going to head on out. Have a great day. Check out the cars. All right, man. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't subscribed, come back, please. I'd like to learn more about, that's why I said before, I don't want this show to be a circle jerk of me just talking to a bunch of people who go, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I guess that's how you get famous, but I'd rather have a show where we talk about what's going on from different perspectives. Because like I said, I listen to everybody that comes on here. If you got something to say, you want to say something. Now I know his Jim hasn't said a goddamn thing. You know why? Because he doesn't have anything to say. Vicky says we got prices rising everywhere because of the war. Brish says, can I send you $1,000 super chat? Today is my birthday. Happy birthday. Anybody wants to send me $1,000, you totally can. I have a Substack, Bruce Leonard. you can subscribe there and give me as much as you want. I have a Bruce Leonard Patreon. I never use it. And I've never sat here and said, please give me money on my Patreon. Although I probably should, but I don't. See, that's the other problem is these people that you watch, these influencers and shit, they're scam artists. They want your money. That's why Benny Johnson lied. That's why Benny Johnson lies constantly. I don't know how, but his shows comes up in my feed now all the time. And every fucking headline that he shows is bullshit. Miker, I would just call you Miker, but he says, dude, I know you. Do you remember me? We met at Brian's party. Brian who? Maybe I know you. I don't know you from this username. I have to see your picture or something. If you know me, then I know you, bro, because if we met each other, then we met. Cyber Reptile says, it's all a joke. It's all a false reality. What? Nick Fuentes? Or the war? The Israel-Palestine thing? Yes, Ken says, dwelling on old shit don't help nobody. Right, exactly. Cyber Reptile says, motherfuckers think they're the shit till real motherfuckers come around. Yeah, mostly. Most people that talk a lot of shit, like Trump and these guys, like all these guys that say they're alpha males. They're alpha males, right? They're not easily triggered like you fucking snowflakes, But here, I'll show you something funny, and this is really funny. This is absolutely true. I'm going to West Virginia to do comedy on Saturday night, right? And this other guy that I know, comedian, he booked the show. That he just needed another comedian. So he's like, hey, you want to come come and do this show? And I said, yeah, because I don't get the chance to do stand-up that much anymore. Because if you've been watching the show, I'm stuck in my house. There's nothing positive to say, Jim. How about he acts like a fucking human being for once? He says, I challenge you to say something positive about Trump. There's nothing positive about this motherfucker. We were talking about he couldn't even keep his mouth shut when Mueller died. Trump is the biggest crybaby fucking bitch I've ever seen in my life. And the fact that you guys think that this is a specimen of manhood and what men should be like. The fucking bitch. Yes, MB Magic Monk says Trump has the grooviest spray tan of all time. Yes, he does. Anyway, listen. So I'm going to West Virginia to do comedy, right? The other guy booked the show, right? And so today he sends me this message. It says, I see your partner is way left. It's from the place that we're playing. And he says, oh, he's not political on stage. And this guy says, please do not. We are heavy right. And I will stop the show if you guys piss off my customers. It's like, oh, so you can't take jokes. You're crybaby little bitches. You know, alpha males, all of them. It's like, what did he just say about Donald Trump? Oh, God. No, you're a bunch of groveling, fucking pathetic nutlickers. That's what you are. It's like, talking about you can't even take a joke. You're free speech advocates. Tell comedians to be careful not to offend my bitch-ass customers. Which I gotta tell him, saying, oh, so I gotta take out one bit. I only got one bit where I talk about politics at all. Because nobody comes to a fucking comedy show to hear some guy preach politics to him. Hippocrates says, didn't the Israelis unalive you? No, not yet. So, listen to this. And this is true. So, they asked him about well, we'll go over this one more time. When Robert Mueller died the other day, Trump jumped on the Twitter, like, you know, his True Social, like 1 minute after. He's like, Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. President Donald J. Trump. No, I'm not. Still here, Hippocrates. No, it's not funny. So, Welker says on Meet the Press, she's talking to Scott Besson. She goes, do you think it's appropriate for the president to celebrate the death of a Bronze Star Purple Heart recipient who served in Vietnam, which Trump got a deferment for bone spurs? Mueller didn't get drafted, volunteered, got a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart. He's more of a man than Trump will ever be, and Trump knows that, and that's why he hates Robert Mueller. Besson says, neither one of us can understand what has been done to the president and his family. Welker, but it is appropriate for the president to celebrate the death of an American citizen. Besson, given what has been done to President Trump and his family, it is impossible for either of us to understand what he's been through. Welker, so you don't think that there's anything wrong with the post saying, good, Robert Mueller's dead? Besson, we should have empathy for what's been done to the president and his family. What a bunch of groveling, pathetic fucking nutlickers. All of y'all. You too, Jim. You groveling fucking piece of shit. It's like, stand up, be a man. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Wear your big shoes and fucking, you know, it says, you know what? Trump, you know he did that on purpose, that's it. He's like, you gonna put on them big shoes? Yes, sir. Just walking around with blisters and corns, getting fucking bunions and shit. That's like... Magic Monk says, I saw a live stream from Tel Aviv about a half hour ago. Some Slavic guy driving around on an electric bike. Looked like a normal city at 12 a.m., honestly. Didn't see damage. Hard to know the truth. Well, because it's not like the city's bombed out. Just places here and there where the missiles get through or the drones. It's not like what they've done to Iran, which is carpet bomb the whole fucking place. Blue Apollo says, fucking, I'm back for more. Well, thanks for coming back. Magic Monk says, so much AI and lies these days, it's really hard to know. Yes. It's hard to know. Like I said, Trump lies every time he opens his mouth. It's hard when you go, man, I don't trust the Iranians, but I don't fucking trust them either. Trump. What you got here is, I don't know what you'd call that. But it's like, You can't trust either one of them. So, we're not going to get the truth about any of this. You think you can trust Netanyahu to tell you the truth? Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck's that got to do with anything, Jim? Well, so you can fucking... you know what I didn't do? I didn't fake fucking bone spurs to get out of... If I got a drive card, I would go... Because I'm a patriot, I love my country. See, this is where you fail to see the fucking forest for the trees. If Trump really loved this country, he would have went to Vietnam. Magic Mouse says, I remember the Trump lie about try they had going during the first term. What happened to that, huh? Right, exactly. I am not Mexican, Shiraz. Just a good old American mutt white dude. I don't... I said my mom's family was Irish. I don't know what Suru says, what's wrong? Don't abuse. What do you mean by that? No, Magic Monk, did you see that? When Trump went to Britain, they played a montage of all Trump's lies, and it lasted over 24 hours. They had a channel. Only as soon as Trump landed, they started playing all Trump's lies that he had told. And lasted 24 hours. It's a lot of fucking lies. Tony says, big support from your fan club, man. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I said, if you haven't liked the show, subscribe to the show, please. I'm glad that you're all here. Thank you so much. And while all this is happening, you know what we're not talking about? The Epstein files. You know what just happened today? If you're not aware of this, you can go. The Judicial Committee of Congress just put out the videos of the depositions of Epstein's lawyer and his accountant while they sit there and tell me, oh, they didn't know nothing about him. Well, you're still here, Jim. Blue Pilot says everything Trump does is to fuel his ego. Wouldn't be surprised if he used a nuclear option just to cement his name in history. Right? Right? You gave all the power to some crazy old man. It was about 5 years from death. It's like, and you're right, he has nothing to lose. And he's a narcissistic egomaniac. No, I am not, my friend. Tony says, what do you think about the Judeo lobby in USA? I think they own all these politicians. AIPAC even said that. They said the other day that AIPAC put a bunch of money into these elections, and they were bragging about it. Let me find it. I had it, saved it for just such an occasion. The problem is I saved so much shit. It's hard for me to find stuff. But AIPAC was bragging about how much they had spent and how many of their candidates won. And that's what I'm saying is if you start to talk about this stuff, people just go, he's an anti-Semite, and that's how they shut you, that's how they try to shut you down and shut you up. They don't want people talking about this stuff. Oh, man, here it is. This is from the AIPAC official X account, Twitter. It says, while disappointed that Laura Fine did not prevail, voters rejected 2 anti-Israel candidates in this race. Kat Agubaz, I don't remember how to say her name, Agubazala and Bushra Emawala. We were especially proud to help defeat Abugazala, who centered her campaign on attacking Israel and demonizing pro-Israel Americans. So, they throw their money around, they get involved. No, Jim, I'm not. Magic Monk says they're all Muppets. Yes! That's the thing I'm going to talk about that no one wants to talk about. And Jim sure doesn't want to talk about this. You see that thing that happened yesterday? Right? The plane crashed into the fire truck, right? At the airport, right? This year alone, There's been more aircraft accidents and deaths than my entire life before this, right? And you're going to sit here and tell me that appointing all these secretaries whose only main qualification is that they will grovel and lick Donald Trump's balls. Ain't none of these people qualified for these jobs. And you're going to sit here and tell me that has nothing to do with the fact that everything's fucking falling apart. You could go fuck yourself, because you obviously have your head so far up Trump's ass that you can't see, around you. You think that fucking Kash Patel is qualified to run the FBI? And they fired and cleared out all the people that had experience. They're all that's left. Drooling, groveling nutlickers that will do anything Donald Trump says. Only problem is they're not very good at solving cases. They're not very good at, lawyering. They're not very good at anything. No, it's because that's your toe and you did that yourself. I wouldn't blame Trump either if I stubbed my fucking toe. My country's falling apart. That's his fault. Period. Let's see. Blue Polar says, most people don't know this, but Miriam Adelson, the lady who donated $100 million to his current run in 24, also donated $20 million in 2016. The same lady that Trump said she couldn't say whether she likes Israel or the U.S. more. Yes. And her husband, Sheldon, they're from Vegas. I used to live in Vegas. The Adelsons are a big casino family. That's how they got all their money. Blue Power says he's been bought out since 2016. Most of us just never saw that. Yeah, of course. Well, see, this is the thing. Is Trump, if you know anything of the facts of the matter, Trump was always a fake billionaire, whatever. Like, he had more on the books than he had cash. He didn't have any money. Now all of a sudden he's got all this cash. Right? Where did it come from? Because it's corruption. It's plain and simple. What happened to that fucking jet they gave him? That was money well spent, wasn't it? They gave him a jet. He got their fucking country bombed. Not a very good return on the investment. All of this stuff is so crazy that, like I said, if you wrote it all in a book or a script, people wouldn't buy it. They'd be like, there's no way this could happen in real life. It's like, no, it totally can. The older I get, the more I realize. I always thought the world was stupid. It's way more fucking stupid than I ever thought. And I already thought it was pretty fucking stupid. But it's ridiculous how bad it is. And people like, these people like electro music think Trump's got some fucking big plan, up his sleeve. It's like they didn't know what was going on. They was told that they were going to close the Strait of Hormuz. They didn't think they would. They thought that they could drop some bombs and in a week the regime would collapse. And they could scrape up the pieces and find some pliant person like they did in Venezuela who would do what they said. But Iran ain't Venezuela. He fundamentally misunderstood. Trump is in the White House because he was born with $400 million, you fucking jerk off. And just because you're a billionaire bootlicker, you give me fucking $500 million, $400 million, and you see what I do. Blue Power says all his money is fake. It's like how the banks wouldn't be able to give us all our money if we cashed out. He wouldn't be able to produce all his money he claims to have. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's all on crypto now, which is even more shady. It's all on paper. It's all bullshit. Meanwhile, he's burning through our money. Like, they said they couldn't afford the $30 billion it would have cost to keep people's health care subsidies. But now they want $200 billion for a war that no one asked for. It just shows you that this is a soulless country. And people like Jim think, oh yeah, it's about the people. It ain't about the fucking people. He's burning your money in a fucking trash can, bro. When he leaves, this country will be decimated. When you're fucking riding the fucking bomb like Slim Pickens on Dr. Strangelove, just woo! Sure did own them limbs, didn't you? You know it. See, look at now he goes with the fucking cliches. The TDS. Fuck you and your TDS. Come up with some shit. And I said, you're a program sheet, bro. You're one step away from just being a bot. I believe that you're probably an actual human being. The most boring fucking, like I said, vapid human being you probably ever met in your fucking life. All you people that make your whole identity loving Donald Trump. It's because you're fucking losers. If you had your own life, you wouldn't have to fucking do that. I never worshipped any politician. I never thought Barack Obama was the second coming of Jesus. You know, and he did some good things, he did some bad things. He's just a dude. It's like Trump, but Trump is the worst possible fucking piece of shit human being you could possibly find. And that's because you're probably like that too. He represents you. Blue Power says, now we're going to end up spending more in Iran in 3 weeks than we have in Ukraine in 40 years. Yes, exactly. Well, we can't do that because Trump works for Vladimir Putin. You didn't know that? Everybody knows that. Yes, Julia says MAGA is the cult, period. Yes. And like I said before on this show, 30% of this country will follow him over a cliff. Happily. Smiles on their faces. They'll burn this country to the ground in the name of Donald Trump. Why, I don't know. It's like, I really like The Apprentice. Just like this war. You really believe that him not sending experienced diplomats and negotiators and experts on the Middle East to do these fucking negotiations, that he just sent his golf buddy and his son-in-law who don't know anything about Iran, who are both, by the way, Jewish people who are at the Wailing Wall with their yarmulkes on. Oh, they're all about Israel. Yeah, they're gonna fucking negotiate in good faith. Blue says, I don't really believe in the Russia scandal, but I do believe he is compromised, so it's not out the window. No. Read the Mueller report. He was not exonerated in any way. And Paul Manafort went to prison. Prison. Convicted, sent to prison for giving the Russians election information. Now, why would you do that? Remember when Trump's first term, when Putin came into office and no one knew what happened because they kicked everybody out, there was no record of it. No one knew what was said or what was done. That's fucking funny that you would even say that. Jim says, did diplomats stop Hitler from invading Poland? No. Did they stop Trump from doing whatever the fuck he's doing? No. What do you think about Cuba, Jim? You think the Cuban people deserve to be starved out? You believe that? Yes, Julia. She says, Kushner and the other guy were not elected nor confirmed to their positions. Yes, exactly. Exactly. They were sent there because they'll just do whatever Donald Trump tells them to do. Period. That's the number one qualification for serving in the Trump administration. That you will be a groveling nutlicker. Just like the plumber who just became the head of Homeland Security. You feel safe, Jim, with a plumber looking over us? A fucking plumber. I just said, you know your country's in the shitter when this is the best you can do because they cleared out the Congress. Same thing. Trump cleared out the Congress of anybody that had experience in doing anything. They elected all these nutlickers, and that's why the Congress won't stand up to Trump, because they're all a bunch of spineless, groveling nutlickers. And at this point, if you're still doing this, you don't care about this country. You're a fucking fanatic, bro. That doesn't fucking mean that you blockade a country, Jim, and starve them out. I'm talking about million innocent people that live there. They ain't got nothing to do with this. See, this is a problem. Americans like you, so they're so arrogant that you think that we should just kill as many people as we can, right, to get them to see our way. Like, you think that this is going to make Cubans like Americans? All this stuff that you're doing, it's the same as we were talking about the Israel-Palestine thing. It's like, killing people ain't the option. I mean, it's an option, but it's not the best option. It's not going to get you the outcomes you want. It's not going to make people go, oh, yeah, you're the good guys. And it's like, no, you're not the good guys. If you're, I said this before, I'll say it one more time. Blue says, how old are you? I'm 54. Says, I argue all the time. My grandparents, they have Trump derangement. Yeah, but see, I hate that TDS bullshit. It's like just calling Trump out for what he is. It's not a fucking, that's just another way. It's just like saying, if you criticize Israel, you're an anti-Semite. It's the same thing. It's a way for you to not listen to what I'm saying. Because the truth is uncomfortable. You just said it yourself. They cannot hop off the Trump train no matter how many truth news to give them. Oh, see, you're wrong. What? They have devotion syndrome. That's what I just said. They're one of the 30% that would drive over a cliff with Donald Trump. No matter how bad it gets, they'll never. They're the same people that thought that the Fuhrer, you know. I said this before on the show. You know, after all the shit that happened in Germany, right, and the whole country was ruined. I already did, Jim, and I'm still sitting here. Man, you're such a cliched fuck. Do you have one original thought inside of your empty fucking head? I would like to hear it, but I don't think it exists. Your brain is like a marble, like rolling around inside your skull. And every now and then it hits the thing, and you go, "Oh, Baxley," you know, "Oh, TDS," you know, like all the things you've been programmed to say about all this ridiculous bullshit, you know, media that you watch. She says, or he said that his grandparents would not hop off the Trump train no matter how many truth news to give them. Most people go along with blowing up the world just to say they voted for Trump. Yes, and they own the libs. You know, the truth is, MAGA has not really offered one fucking idea of how to improve anyone's lives. It's all division and hate and fucking, you know, divide the country on purpose so that that minority can stay in power. I'm sure you hope and you'll rejoice. But I'll tell you right now, I'm hard to kill. Several people have tried. Obviously, they were not successful. All right, I gotta get out of here. Listen, if you're new to this show, you just stumbled upon it. I'm gonna say again, I'm here every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. I don't know where time that is and where you're at. If you just stumbled on this show today, please like the show, subscribe to the show on YouTube. I need subscribers. And people like Blue Apollo who just showed up here today, new people, I appreciate you. And people like Catchy Electro Music who have came back several times now. I appreciate all the people that watch this show. When I started, there was no one watching. You're still here, Jim. So you must find me entertaining on some level. Or you one of them people, you just like to hate. He hate watches. That's okay. It still counts. YouTube still counts your hate watches in the algorithm. So And like I said, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer to monetization of this channel. I do. I love everyone, Jim. I do. I'm not a bad guy, believe me. I said, that's the problem is we let all this partisan shit get us past the point. Like the guy said earlier, we all shit, we all piss, we all love somebody, we all, want to have kids or families, or I mean, some people do. I mean, not everybody, but I'm way over that. I don't want to raise a kid and this shit. But everybody wants the same shit: to be left alone, to be happy, to do what they want. We have way more in common than what keeps us apart. And that's the secret of all this stuff, is they keep us divided so that we don't realize that the rich people are the ones really fucking us all. So hopefully one day we'll get to that conclusion, and we can all join together and bring it all down. Because the system is propped up by a bunch of fucking pedophiles should probably be taken down, don't you think? Like, that's the last stop for the day. Remember, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm here loyally, but I won't be here on Saturday because I'm going to West Virginia to do comedy. I have a stand-up record called Cancel Culture. You can find it on all the streaming platforms. Thank you for watching. I am Bruce Leonard. I'll be back on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard